Hi, it's me again. It's Red, your favorite CML Warrior. Those of you who don't know what CML is, it is chronic myeloid leukemia. It is a blood cancer that forms in the bone and it affects the white blood cells. It is I'm not really sure because I'm learning as I go along. It's the immature development, overgrowth. It's the immature overgrowth of white blood cells. Now, don't quote me on that because I could be wrong, but I got a little bit more research to do. I should have did my research before I got on here talking. But anywho, today is one of my great days. Even though my head and my edges look a mess, guess what? I don't care because I'm in the house trying to heal and recover. So who cares about that? But I'm having a good day today. I was finally able to get out of the bed, so I decided to do something different, and I'm going to speak and share my story with YouTube, the world, if it gets around. I'm gonna take you guys on my journey. Let me give you a little backstory about how I got here. On July the 4th, 2023, I was very, 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 very tired. I was having a rough day that day. I was working and I wasn't able to go to work. So I decided, hey, let me just go to the emergency room because I'm finna point out. I'm about to point out on my job and I'm been lost my job. Excuse me, y'all, because it's hot. Gotta cut my fan on. Boo. So I said, I've been lost my job. Let me just go to the emergency room so I can give me an excuse for the night, and I'm just gonna sleep through the night. Okay, little did I know, I was in for the shock of my life because I was just trying not to get fired, y'all. But I ended up going to the emergency room. And they ran a series of tests, and shout out to UAB. But they ran a series of tests, and boom, they came back with, hey, your white blood cell counts are very elevated, and we are concerned because blood cancer started at 100,000. Okay? So, boom. I'm 34 years old. 34 years old. Who just ups and get cancer at 34 years old? But okay, so I was like, okay, cool. I ain't thinking nothing of it. And I was just like, maybe I got inflammation or something that's making my blood cell counts go up, or an infection that I know nothing about. And because I have been having issues with my digestive system for the past 4 years, and I began to lose weight without even trying, but I've been bouncing back and forth. But I also had to change my eating habits within those past 4 or 5 years according to how I digested. I figured out fried foods was a trigger, and greasy things, especially greasy things, was a trigger. And I began slowly switching or converting over to like ground turkey for a red meat substitution, or baked fish, grilled, boiled, or broiled. And I would consume chicken, and I would consume seafood. But yeah, let me get back to the story. So she's like, blood cancer started 100,000. So I was like, okay, well, what is my count? She was like 89,000. So I was like, no, she said it was 80,000. So I was like, okay, I'm still ain't thinking nothing of it. I'm like, so what my excuse is? Because I'm gonna go home, go to sleep. Knowing I had to be to work, and probably, well, I had 2 jobs. I had to be at my second job and maybe in less than 6 hours. So she was just like, okay. She gave me my discharge papers, and she was like, I don't see no reasons to keep you because other than that, you're fine. She's just like, but you make sure you go to hematology oncology within the next 7 days. So she released me July the 5th because I technically went in at 10. I had to be to work I went in at 10 p.m. and I had to be to work at 11:30 p.m. on July the 4th. And so it was after midnight on July the 5th when I was released. So I got released July 5th. So July 5th came, and I called. I called hematologist, like, okay, well, we're going to schedule an appointment out to July 31st. And you're going to come in and you're going to see us. So I'm thinking hematology is just a regular clinic. I still don't know nothing about it. And I was like, well, if they schedule me out all the way to July 31st, then ain't nothing wrong with me. So I received a phone call back the next day and was like, hey, we're going to need you to come in. The next day was July 6th. And I received a phone call back the next day saying, hey, we're going to need you to come in tomorrow, which was July 7th, 2023, at 11 a.m. So I was like, okay, they put a rush on it. So, I'm starting to get nervous now. And I was just like, it's probably still ain't nothing. It's just that inflammation, because I was eating crazy at the barbecue for the 4th of July. And I was just like, I probably just overate. Still ain't brushing it off. Ain't thinking nothing of it. And then she called me back within 30 minutes. It's like, hey, we need you to come in July 7th, 2023 at 9 a.m. instead of at 11 a.m. because you may need to do a bone marrow biopsy. And I was like, ooh, Lord, chicken real now, y'all. So I was like, what's bone marrow biopsy? And they explained everything. And they were just like, we're going to let you do the bone marrow biopsy first. And then we will take you over to see the doctor so you can get your labs drawn. So I was like, okay. So I asked her what was my labs, and she gave me the patient portal information because she couldn't tell me over the phone. She gave me my patient portal information, and she was like, my labs was at 80,000. And before I left the emergency room on July 4th, they had jumped up to 89,000. And so I went in July 7th at 9 o'clock to do my bone marrow biopsy. And oh my God, y'all. Baby, it wasn't no joke. It hurt. They gave me some Ativan sedation, but I felt all of it. Like, they numbed the area around the skin, but it don't do nothing when that drill get down in your bone. And I smoked weed, and that particular time I wasn't high before I went in there, because I have to smoke weed for my anxiety, and it gives me energy and all that kind of stuff. But we gonna get into all that too, because I got time. I ain't got nothing but time. I'm healing. I'm in the house. I'm sitting down, taking care of myself, doing what I'm supposed to do, trying to get better. So I'm gonna tell you all that. But anywho, I did that, and I had already got my labs drawn first before I went and did the bone marrow biopsy. And she sent me over to the doctor after I did the bone marrow biopsy so they can explain what was going on. So when I walked into the clinic, I walked into hematology oncology. It's the comprehensive cancer research clinic. And I was like, I got cancer, bro. Like, it started to get real. It started to set in. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get that air off of me, because I'm discovering that cool air makes my bone hurt. So I can't really have cold air on me like that. But it be hot sometimes, but I still be covered up. But I'm anemic. That's part of the cancer too. But anywho, so I went, and the doctor was like, hey, we did some labs on July 4th / July 5th, and you were at 89,000, and now here we are July 7th, and your labs are at 102,000. Your white counts are at 102,000. I was like, ooh, it's real. I got cancer. So she handed me the card, and it said leukemia. And she was like, do you got any questions? I said, well, why are you giving me a card to say leukemia? Because at this moment, they didn't tell me that I had leukemia. So she was just like, well, we suspect that you have leukemia. And she was just like, given your age and condition, she was just like, in your genetic markers, we're looking at CML. And I was like, what's CML? She was just like, it's chronic myeloid or melonius. They got so many names for it. But I like myeloid. Chronic myeloid leukemia, which is a treatable kind. And it was like, people your age usually don't get it. It normally happens to people that are 65 years of age and older. She was just like, but it's treatable and you can live with it. She was just like, but we just have to verify. And that's why we did the bone marrow biopsy to, verify that that is the specific kind. And she went into explaining the genetic markers such as, oh Lord, such as the P210 variant and the P190 variant. And those are the different kinds that separate CML from AML. She was just like, and if it's CML, she was just like, don't be afraid. Your lifestyle is going to have to change, but you can live. She was just like, you can take a oral chemo pill, which is not really chemo. It's a TKI, and it blocks or slows down. I'm saying it slows down. It slows down the reproduction of the cancer gene itself. And she explained that my type of cancer happens when chromosome number 9 and chromosome number 22, or either chromosome number 20, crossbreed and they replicate and they just keep going and keep going. And the bone marrow biopsy results weren't going to come back until a few days, but she just prepared me for what was going on. And in that moment I was just like, well, hey, I'm okay. Like, I got cancer, but I'm okay. She told me I could live, and I was fine with putting the thought into my head that I'm going to be able to live, even though I would have to be on a chemo for the rest of my life. And I was just like, that's fine with me. At least I got the rest of my life. And she explained that, after 5 years, if my cancer goes into remission or has been into remission for 2 years within those 5 years period, I could stop the oral treatment of the TKIs. Somebody caught my attention. I could stop the oral treatment of the TKIs, or the chemo as they call it, and they would just monitor me real closely. So, whirlwind of emotions went through my head. So I move along. I take that day, and a lot of doctor's appointments ensued after that. I'll say about maybe 4 days later, because that was on Friday. 4 or 5 days later, I got the confirmation that it was in fact CML from the bone marrow biopsy, and we looked into treatment. I decided to go with a treatment called Gleevec. Now, it's the first generation TKI, and I was told that it will work, but it may take longer to get into a remission status with that. And due to my nature of my stomach and my side effect pain, like my stomach pains, my digestive issues that I've been having, I chose the Gleevec over the second generation because it was easier and more tolerable on the stomach. So boom, I go home. I didn't feel like I had cancer until I actually got diagnosed and they said you got cancer. And then I started to feel sick. I knew something wasn't right, but I never thought cancer leading up to this point, because I was working 2 jobs and I was always extremely tired. And when I say extremely tired, I would be going to sleep while driving. That's how tired I was. And I stayed like maybe 41 minutes out for my jobs. Maybe 30 minutes out from one job, 40 minutes out from the other job. And I was tired. And I would be getting to the point where I would go to sleep driving. I worked at a warehouse job, and very demanding. I was a picker. And I was getting to the point that after being on my shift for an hour, maybe an hour and 30 minutes, I would clock out and I would go to the car and I would go to sleep. I would sit in the parking lot of the car and go to sleep my entire shift. And then when everybody was coming out of the building to go home, I'd crank up and go pick up my kids, which was only maybe 10, 15 minutes away. When I got to wherever my kids were, 9 times out of 10, they was with my sister. I would pull up at her house and I would go to sleep again in the car for maybe another 2 hours, because I always pulled up like maybe around by 5:15. I stay out there to 7 something till she got ready to get up and go to work and, get her stuff together. I would never get out and come in, and she always be like, the door is open, the door is open. I was like, well, I'm so exhausted, I'm just gonna stay here and rest. And I did that. So then I would go home, or either I'll go straight to my second job. I'll take the kids with me to my second job most of the time. Sometimes I go home and freshen up or whatever I may do, and then go to my second job, because it was only a short window frame from like 7 to 9 for me to get to my second job. But once I got to my second job, I was sitting with the lady, and we were at her house, and no supervision or whatever, and it was cool, it was relaxed. I'll do whatever I had to do with her within those first hour and a half maybe. And I'll say around by 10:30, 11 o'clock, I was on her couch, sleep again. And so I started smoking more and more, smoking my weed, because it gave me energy. Sativa. Gots to be sativa. But I would smoke just to keep me alert and keep me up and to make me eat and all that kind of stuff. So I get diagnosed, and then I started feeling bad. Like I said, I missed the signs because they were there. I just ignored them, or I didn't think that they were that extreme. So finally, when I get home, because I wasn't eating either, so I would smoke to eat too. And so finally, when I get home and they take me off work and stuff, and I got some time to myself, like it hit me. I started feeling bad. I started feeling extremely fatigued. Couldn't stay woke. Bone pains just started hitting me out of nowhere, and I hadn't experienced bone pains. I experienced muscle aches, and I thought that was because I'm a picker at this warehouse job. And baby, you got to be on it at the job I was working at. So I was figuring, that's what got me sore. And then I'm lifting this lady up, putting her in and out her wheelchair, putting her clothes and stuff on. Like maybe that's what had my muscles tired. And come to find out, it was the cancer the whole time invading my body, making my bones and stuff hurt. And I just wasn't aware. And I was having horrible shoulder pain, just horrible. I wasn't able to, I got down bad to the point before I started treatment that I couldn't lift a bag, a Dollar General bag with a box of tissue in it, Kleenex at that. Or it took me forever to walk, without being tired. I wasn't tired out of breath, breathing heavy. I was tired, my body's hurting and every step is just draining me. So maybe a week later, I started treatment. Everything was going great. Then all of a sudden, I started back getting tired again. I adjusted to the medicine well. I think I had one bad day where I woke up with a headache and I was feeling lightheaded and thought I was going to pass out. That was on my 4th day starting the Gleevec. And I called the nurse and she said, you ain't drinking enough water. So come to find out, I got to drink 10 to 12 ounces of water, 10 to 12 cups of water a day. So after I started pushing out the water, pushing more water, I felt good. I never threw up with the Gleevec, but I did get nauseous. And the bone pains, they kept going. They never eased up. They kept going. And I was just tired, but I got to the point maybe a week and a half in, my skin was clearing up. As you can see, it's messed up now, but that's just, I guess it's the cancer doing what it do. And I have switched medicines, but we gonna get to that point. But it was working. Then maybe 3 weeks in or a month, things started to change. We gonna get into that too. I'm gonna get personal too with some personal stuff. But things started to change, and I started feeling extra tired, extra weak. Like before I started treatment, they were coming back again. So I went to going from the doctor every week, every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, to now I had an appointment on August 28th, and they was like, hey, your white blood cell counts went down because 2 weeks after I started treatment, my white blood cells went from 105,000 down to, because that's what it went up to, from 102 to 104, then 105, then it just got stable around 104, 105, slowed down a little bit because it was going up at least 9,000 every couple of days. But when it got to the 102, 105, it started to slow down and be stable. So it went from 105,000 down to 27,000, and it's just 2 weeks on the Gleevec. And once it went down to 27,000, they said we're gonna see you back in 4 weeks now. So when I went back in 4 weeks, which was August 28th, it got down to 3,500, which is below what it's supposed to be. And my red platelet counts had also went down too. And I told them that I was starting to feel bad again. I was getting more nauseous, and I was just like, I'm more tired, and I was just like, just the weakness. Like I was just like, I don't feel like I was feeling 2 weeks ago. And so they were just like, your cancer genetic marker, the 210 marker, actually went up. Even though your white blood cell counts went down, your genetic marker went up. So that means that it's progressing. And this is supposed to be a slow progressing cancer, which it progresses slowly over the years. And that's why people, can manage and treat it better. I'm actually in the chronic phase, which is equivalent to stage 1, because with blood cancer, leukemia to be exact, you don't have stages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have phases. It's the chronic phase, accelerated phase, and the blast phase, and all of it is according to what's inside of your bone marrow, how many or whatever, the quantity or the value. And so I wasn't excited to see that, and I was like, hear that too. And I was like, well, that explains why I've been feeling sick again. I thought I was doing so good, and I just up and started going backwards, like I was digressing. And I was just like, I don't like this. So they decided to switch me to the second generation called dasatinib, in which he recommended that I take from the jump, but I chose to do the imatinib, which is the Gleevec, because of the the side effects were less severe. Second generation dasatinib, he said that it'll work faster and it'll target me, and I can probably get into remission a little faster. But the side effects were like swelling of the legs, the eyes, which I experienced some swelling of the eyes with the Gleevec, and swelling around the lungs. And when he said swelling around the lungs, I said, hell no. And I was just like, then he said, if you got stomach issues, it'll be hard on the stomach too. And I've been constipated, like, I already suffered with constipation before, but it's like 10 times worse now that I'm taking all this medicine. So I'm on the I'm on the imatinib. No, I'm on the dasatinib now. So now that I'm on the dasatinib, I've been on it for approximately a week and 4 days, and I go to the doctor Monday for my 2-week checkup to see, how is it treating the cancer. And I'm hoping that it's gonna be good. I've been able to move around maybe for like 4 days in a row, get up and cook, eat, unload groceries out the car, of course, with the help of my children or whoever is around, because I couldn't do any of that stuff at first. And I'm coming on around. I didn't like the dasatinib at first because I suffered with horrible migraine like headaches for the first week, and I was sensitive to light, I was cold, but I was sensitive to heat as well, but I was also cold all the time, extremely cold, hemoglobin went down below where it should be too, and they were talking about doing iron fusion treatments through IV for me because of my iron levels, but they decided not to. They said take an iron supplement, and that's a part of my constipation too. But it was looking real bad. I didn't like it, and I actually was finna give up on the medicine a weekend because I was like, fuck this. Like, my head hurt too bad. I can't do it, y'all. Like, I don't want to be on this no more. But here I am, and I got energy. I can carry a bag. I can walk. I can't go far. I walk like from my parking lot to my front door, or I can stay woke for at least 3-4 hours straight. I could probably stand up and walk for a good 5 or 10 minutes straight. I'll be real slow, but I'm finding my way back, and I'm gonna take y'all on this journey. That's enough for this video. The next video, I'm probably gonna get into my diet, because I had to do a crash course in diet. Like, I had to go cold turkey, and I had to stop eating the way I was eating, and I had to really eat differently as far as fruits and berries and stuff like that. And I'm gonna get into it, and I'm gonna show y'all this journey step by step. Hopefully y'all can see my skin change, and y'all can see me do better. And even if y'all don't see me do better, I'm gonna show y'all the bad days too. I'm gonna show y'all my daily routine as far as disinfecting and staying clean, wearing my mask, wearing my gloves when I go out, and just trying to stay healthy and stay alive. So I'm gonna get into it with y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope it reached someone, and I hope we can go through it together for anybody that is experiencing this as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Just let me know. I hope this reached somebody, because I ain't been getting no views. I don't know how to work this stuff, this technology and stuff, y'all. But hopefully God has a way and he has a will, and we getting closer to God, and we're healing ourselves, and we're moving on with the life and living with CML leukemia. Talk to y'all later.